The narcissist told me to cry him a river, and I just about did. He told me to cry him a river that leads to an ocean. He said this indirectly with the way that he treated me and the cruel words that he said to me. But in the end, I told him, "You'll never see me fall apart." A narcissist will add insult to injury and disrespect on top of disrespect. They will hurt you over and over without thinking anything of it. They have tunnel vision when it comes to getting their selfish needs met, thinking only of themselves, and they care nothing about how their behavior affects you. You can expect no sympathy, no comfort, no understanding. They don't have the ability to put themselves in your shoes, nor do they care enough to. The narcissist would often tell me that he didn't care about my tears. He told me that I was my own reason why I was sad. He said I was making myself sad and depressed. He said I was making myself cry because of my own negative thoughts. It had nothing to do with his ill treatment of me or his bad behavior. The things that led to me crying a river were the things that the narcissist did to disrespect our marriage. Anytime he violated the love, the loyalty, and the commitment concerning our marriage, it would make me very, very sad and depressed. The narcissist would do things such as leave me at home at night by myself. He would come home very late. He would leave our home around 10:30 p.m. at night, like clockwork, pretty much every single day. Then he wouldn't come home until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes even later than that, sometimes 6 a.m. When he did return home, he wouldn't come to the marital bed. He would go and sleep in his man cave. All of this behavior started to really take an emotional toll on me. In addition to experiencing anxiety of not knowing where your spouse is, they're not telling you the truth about where they're going. They're not giving you any details. They're not telling you when they're going to come home. You also get very sad and depressed about it as well. You start to internalize their behavior and you start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why does my spouse not want to be at home? Why can't I satisfy them? Why can't I please them? Why are they looking for something else or someone else? All of these questions, in addition to the anxiety of wondering where your spouse is and why they don't want to be home. When the person that took a vow to love you is not pouring into you, these are the type of thoughts that you can start to have. During all the time that the narcissist left me at home, I was able to pray and talk to the Lord. And I started to ask God to show me different things, reveal different things to me, give me clarity, give me understanding, give me peace. And one day, I wasn't looking, I wasn't searching. I was led to open my spouse's vehicle. I was led to open the driver's side door of my spouse's vehicle. And I looked in the inside panel of the door and I pulled out a pair of winter gloves. And the Spirit told me to look inside of the gloves. And what I found in there were condoms and a semi-used bottle of lubrication. This is the moment where all of the sad thoughts came to a head. I did confront the narcissist about what I'd found, and he didn't take responsibility, he didn't take ownership, and he tells me that those items don't belong to him, that they belong to his best friend, and he was just holding them for him. So this is insult to injury. Not only are they treating you very terribly, not only are they lying to you, now they're starting to insult your intelligence, thinking that you're very stupid and they can just tell you anything. After this moment, I began to experience what's called crying spells. And what this is just very uncontrollable crying. These episodes just kind of come out of nowhere. You're not exactly sure of the specific reason why you're crying, but it's just very uncontrollable and you basically can't stop. When I look back on it, I feel like it was my very soul that was actually crying and weeping. On top of dealing with this behavior from the narcissist, during these crying spells, the narcissist still continued to do his same behavior, staying out late, lying about where he was going, and doing all the things that he wanted to do outside of our marriage. I was the only one in the household that was working and taking care of the household. So I had to continue to go to work, and it was becoming more increasingly difficult to go to work with the crying spells. I wanted to be able to function at work. I didn't want to be crying at work. I didn't want, my personal business and affairs to be known about at work. So I decided to go to the doctor and ask for help. If you know anything about anxiety disorder, you know that it is often linked to depression. Both depression and anxiety disorder work off of triggers. So there are certain things in your environment that trigger your anxiety and certain things in your environment that trigger depression. In my case, dealing with a narcissist, I had several triggers on both sides. I didn't even know it was physically possible for my body to cry that much. It was just waterworks. It was tears, tears, and tears. Tears on top of tears. And I couldn't even understand how I was able to produce that many tears. It was just a ridiculous amount of tears on a daily basis. Essentially, it was crying all day long, morning, noon, and night. So you start doing this internalizing of their behavior. You start making their behavior about you. And their behavior has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their choice. The sadness of these tears were wondering why I wasn't good enough. Why couldn't I just be loved by my spouse? Why is it so hard for me to satisfy and please the person that I love? Having to go into the doctor's office and ask for antidepressants was definitely a source of shame for me. I took the DARE program very seriously when I was in school, and I was anti-drugs. Don't want to take anything. Don't like the idea of having to depend on any type of substance. But like I said, I needed to do it for work. And so I did that. So there was this stigma for me to go into the doctor's office and ask for help with stopping this crying. I'm the type of person that I will only take something like that as long as I need it. So once the crying got under control, I no longer took those. The fact that I had to start taking antidepressants was something that made me very, very sad. It made me sad for myself. I started to feel sorry for my own self. And I started to realize if I lost myself, I would cry. The river was deep and the mountain was high. I started to realize that I do love myself, despite the fact that the narcissist didn't. It's okay to cry. Even Jesus wept. But God promises to wipe away all of our tears. He promises to mend our broken heart and bind our wounds. Psalms 56, 8 and 9. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears in thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, then shall my enemies turn back. This I know, for God is with me. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into campground. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Don't you want to go to that promised land, the land where all is peace?